Dear all, welcome to the class of International Finance. So today we are discussing about foreign trade multiplier. There are two types of foreign trade multiplier. Firstly, foreign trade multiplier without repercussions and foreign trade multiplier with repercussions. So these are the two types of foreign trade multipliers. Okay, so firstly let's look what is foreign trade multiplier. Foreign trade multiplier is also known as export multiplier. So as a result of export, there might be multiplier effect in income. Okay, it also might be there might be impact in several areas and several sectors. So all these changes is capturing through foreign trade multiplier. So if we define foreign trade multiplier, it can be defined as a ratio of change in income to a net change in exports. So how much change is occurring in income as a result of change in exports, that is foreign trade multiplier. That's why the equation can be KF or foreign trade multiplier is equal to change in Y divided by change in X. This is same like Keynesian analysis of investment multiplier. Keynes developed investment multiplier and he has given an equation change in Y divided by change in I. As a result of change in investment, there might be multiplier effect in income. That was the idea of Keynes. But here, when we are coming to the foreign trade multiplier, there might be changes in the income as a result of change in export, and there might be multiplier effect. So to capture that multiplier effect, we are talking about foreign trade multiplier or export multiplier. And in the Keynesian investment multiplier, we know the equation of Keynesian multiplier. It was 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. So investment multiplier was the function of MPC, or we can say MPS, 1 divided by MPS, marginal propensity to save. And here foreign trade multiplier is also depend upon two variables. Firstly, marginal propensity to save, MPS, and marginal propensity to import, MPM, marginal propensity to import. So foreign trade multiplier is the function of these two variables. So this also derived from a Keynesian identity. That according to the income determination, according to Keynesian analysis, not exactly there might be different contributors to that, not only Keynes, but normally it is known as Keynesian analysis. Okay, later on several people have also developed it. So according to that identity, Y is equal to income is equal to C plus I plus G plus S. Okay, so here if you are keeping I and G as constant, there is no any change in I and G, then we can rewrite that equation change in, and also we can give change in X can be change in Y minus change in C. Okay, delta X is equal to delta Y minus delta C. If we are dividing this equation by change in Y, then we will be getting change in X divided by change in Y is equal to 1 minus change in C divided by change in Y. Then if we are making that equation reverse, change in Y divided by change in X, that is our equation, it is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus change in C divided by change in Y. What is change in C divided by change in Y? It is MPC, or we can say B. We can denote normally with B. Okay, so this is the foreign trade multiplier. Foreign trade multiplier is change in Y divided by change in X is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus change in y divided by change in y, change in c divided by change in y. Nothing but investment multiplier, right? 1 divided by 1 minus b, that is investment multiplier only. But the difference is, in the investment multiplier, MPC or the marginal propensity to consume, investment multiplier we were talking about only if we are considering only closed economy, we were talking about the consumption from domestic market, right? If we are considering closed economy. But suppose that if we are making our economy open, then there might be two consumption of domestically produced goods and consumption of foreign goods. So there are two consumption. Okay, so if you're taking change in C, it may happen because of two factors: change in consumption of domestically produced goods plus change in consumption of foreign goods. Okay, so if you're consuming the domestically produced goods, it is simple just consumption. But if we are consuming more of foreign produced in foreign countries, then it is an import. We are importing from some other countries and we are consuming it. Okay, so that equation we can rewrite like this by dividing with the change in y. Change in c divided by change in y is equal to change in or delta ch divided by delta y plus delta cf divided by delta y. We can rewrite like this. Okay, and change in delta c by delta y can also be written as b dash. Okay, b dash is equal to change in change in ch divided by change in y can be written as b, which is nothing but the MPC in a closed economy. Then change in cf divided by change in y, which is a MPM, because we are consuming foreigners products, so it is a import. Okay, so it is also MPM. So this equation we can make a addition, and 1 divided by minus b dash, it will be equal to 1 minus b plus m, which is given there, which is equal to S, or marginal propensity, total income. Okay, savings plus consumption, it is equal to y, that you already know. So 1 minus b will be equal to 1 minus b plus m, because both are included there. It will be equal to savings. So S is equal to 1 minus b minus m. Then we can rearrange the equation like S 1 minus b is equal to S plus m. Okay, so 1 minus b can be written as S plus m, which is MPS plus MPM. That's why I said foreign trade multiplier is a function of MPS and MPM, marginal propensity to save and marginal propensity to import. So KF, it is a foreign trade multiplier, but whatever we are talking now, it is about the foreign trade multiplier without repercussions. So we will be dealing what is foreign trade multiplier with repercussions later. Then it is equal to change in y divided by change in x is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus change in c divided by change in y, which is nothing but 1 divided by S plus m, or MPS plus MPM. In a closed economy, yes, we can written like 1 minus b. Okay, I think these all identities, and it's you already learned from macroeconomic class. That's why I am not spending much time on explaining these all concepts. So S is equal to 1 minus b. So this equation can be rearranged like foreign trade multiplier without repercussions is 1 divided by 1 minus b plus m. Okay, so here we have assumed that consumption and import is a function of income, and G and I are remain unchanged, or there is no any change, it is constant. Okay, but suppose that if you are making some changes in I, if you are assuming x and G and x is autonomously given, but C and I and M is a function of income. Normally we have assumed that C and M is a function of income, but the only variable which changes now is I is a function of income. We are assuming like that. Then the total investment might be, there will be two factors. First one is autonomous investment, and also investment which is depend upon income. That's why we are writing AY. This small a is marginal propensity to invest. Okay, as we said MPC, it is MPI, or marginal propensity to invest. So if we are making I as a function of y, then the above mentioned equation can be changed as kf is equal to change in y divided by change in x, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus change in c divided by change in y, which can be written, the equation can be written as 1 divided by s minus a plus m. Okay, 1 minus a is also added in the equation. Before it was 1 divided by s plus m, but minus a is also added. So we can also elaborate it like 1 minus b minus a plus m will be the foreign trade multiplier if we are making investment as a function of income. So this is detailed, how this equation comes, you can check Rana and Verma. So it is given there. So if we assume there is no government expenditure and no taxes, no saving, no investment, but only import and exports, then how what will be the foreign trade multiplier? Then it will be 1 divided by small m. Small m is MPM, marginal propensity to import. Okay, so whatever we have discussed now, it is foreign trade multiplier without repercussions. Its equation will be 1 divided by s plus m. Now we are checking what is this repercussion or feedback. Foreign trade multiplier with repercussions, or it is also known as feedback foreign trade multiplier. Up to now what we have done, if there is a change in exports, it will have impact on it will have impact on y. That was our analysis. But this analysis is made only for the small countries case, because their import and export doesn't impact other countries much. But if two countries are closely related and both countries have both are big countries, not small countries, so in the reality one country's export, if it increases, automatically, as we said, national income will increase. If the national income increases, its import also will be going up, because their income increase, so import also will be going up. If their income goes up, export of another country also goes up, because if they are importing, other countries' export will go up. So it will have a repercussions or feedback effect. Repercussion means consequence or feedback. So if there is a change in one country, it will affect that country, and also it will affect other country. There will be repercussions from one country to another country. So if we are considering these repercussions, this feedback. So how will be the foreign trade multiplier? That's why we are talking about foreign trade multiplier with the repercussions. This is also known as impact of one country to another country is also known as foreign repercussions or backwash effect or feedback effect. One country's export will not only affect its own income, but it will affect other countries' income and other countries' export, other countries' imports. This is known as foreign repercussion or backwash effect or feedback effect. The smaller country is in relation to other trading partner, the negligible is the foreign repercussions. One country is very big country and another country is very small country. So if they are making a foreign trade, the small country's export and import will be very negligible as far as this big country is concerned. So this feedback won't be much. But if there are both countries are bigger, then it will affect there will be high feedback there. Okay, so now suppose that assuming there are two countries A and B, and A's import and they are trading each other. Okay, A's imports are B's exports and vice versa. So one country export, other country will import. So an increase in the A's domestic investment, A country is increasing their own domestic investment, will cause a multiplier increase in their own income. If their income increases, their import also will be increased. Okay, so this will, their import will be increasing. So ultimately other countries' export will go up because this country is importing from another country. There are two countries here. Okay, so if the investment goes up in one country, automatically their import will go up, another country's export also will go up. Okay, so our export is a function of a real income of other country, or the one country's export is the function of other country's income. That's why we normally written as X is a function of Y to other country's income. Okay, so now in the foreign trade multiplier without repercussions, which we have already discussed, there we are not combining two countries case. Then there is no difference between the situation whether the nation's income increase is brought by increase in export or investment. National income can be increased in two ways. One is through the investment multiplier, another one is through the export multiplier. Okay, but in the case of without repercussion, foreign trade multiplier without repercussions, there is no any change whether it is happening through the investment or whether it is happening through the export. But if you are considering foreign trade multiplier with the repercussions, there is changes in foreign trade multiplier through it depends upon whether it's happening through export or it is happening through investment. So we will see that. Firstly, we will see that foreign trade multiplier of export. So feedback foreign trade multiplier of exports. So if export is increasing, so what will be the feedback or what will be the foreign trade multiplier with the repercussions? Here you can see the picture. There are two countries, country 1 and country 2. Okay, and there are two channels, channel 1 and channel 2. Okay, this is the channel 1 and this is channel 2. Okay. So what is happening? Suppose that in country 1, if the export increases, initial change, If the export increases, automatically their income will increase. Why will increase? Because they will get more money through this export, their income will increase. If the income increases, their import, because they have more money, so their import also will be going up. So X will go up, Y will go up, and import also will be going up. So what will happen? So in the channel 1, it will lead to the another country there, because this country is importing more, so another country's export will go up. There are only 2 countries here, okay? It is a hypothetical case. So another country's export will go up, Y will go up, M will go up. Okay, so if it is happening, if their import is going up, again it will lead to the first country's export go up, then ultimately in second country's export go up. So this is the situation of first channel. So if one country's export go up, their income go up, then import go up, so it will lead to the high export of another country, then it will have a positive impact. Positive impact in both countries. This is the channel 1. Then channel 2. Okay, suppose that export of one country is going up. Okay, so from that we can move to the channel 2. If the export of one country go up, it means second country's import go up. Second country import go up. So there was a mistake, that's why I changed it. Import go up. Because one country's export go up, it means that another country should import. Okay, if the import go up, their income will be reduced, because they are they are utilizing all their income for imports. Their income will be reduced. If the income is reduced, again their import will come down, because they don't have much income in their hand, so their income will be reduced. If their income is reduced, it will lead to the first country's export will come down. If the export come down, Y also will come down, import will come down, so it will lead to another country's export will come down, Y will come down, and import will come down. So it will go on like that. So this is that's why we are saying this is repercussions effect. One country's export will affect another country's import, and one country's income also will affect another country's exports. So there is a positive effect and also negative effect. Positive effect is occurring in one side and negative effect is occurring in another side. So by combining this feedback, so we need to redefine the foreign trade multiplier. Okay. So now, here there is a contractionary effect and expansionary effect. Contractionary effect in one side and expansionary effect in another side. So KFF is nothing but foreign trade multiplier with repercussions. Its equation is like this. In the without repercussions, we said that 1 divided by S plus M, simple. But here we are considering the S and M of both countries. So the equation will be 1 divided by S1 plus M1 plus M2 into S1 divided by S2. This is the equation. The detailed proof and derivation of this equation can be seen in Ranan Verma. If you are interested, you can go through. So this is the equation of foreign trade multiplier with repercussions. So if we are giving one for example, if you are assigning some values for all these variables, like 1 divided by, let S1 be 0.4, M1 be 0.1, then M2 be 0.2, and S1 and S2 is 0.4 suppose, then what will be the value? 1 divided by 0.7, the foreign trade multiplier with repercussions will be 1.43. In the same hypothetical case, if we are considering foreign trade multiplier without repercussions, it will be 1 divided by s plus m. Okay, so 1 divided by 0.4 plus 0.1, it will be equal to 2. So foreign trade multiplier without repercussions value is higher than foreign trade multiplier with repercussions. That is the one understanding. Then what about the investment multiplier? Change in y divided by change in I is nothing but 1 divided by 1 minus MPC, or we can say 1 divided by MPS. It is equal to 1 divided by 0.4 is equal to 2.5. That value is higher than foreign trade multiplier without repercussions also. So normally we can say that the investment multiplier value will be higher than foreign trade multiplier without repercussions, and that value will be higher than foreign trade multiplier with repercussions. K is greater than KF is greater than KFF. Okay, S and M is MPS and MPM. So I think this is clear for you. And this one we have said that feedback foreign trade multiplier of export we have explained now. But there is a feedback foreign trade multiplier or of investment. If there is a change in investment, that also can change their income and imports and another country's exports. So this is known as feedback foreign trade multiplier of investment. So here the example is given, then it will be more clear. There are two countries, country 1 and country 2. Initial change is occurring due to the change in investment. Okay, so investment in one country, country 1 is going up, but only one channel is here. If investment goes up, Y also, income also will go up, import also will go up. If the import of one country is going up, obviously the country's 2's export will go up. Their Y will go up, import will go up. These repercussions will happen. But here you should understand that if the first change here, it is occurring through the changes in investment, not through the exports. Okay, but before we said that the changes are occurring through the exports, there is a repercussions, both positive and negative change, but here only positive changes. Okay, so if the foreign trade multiplier is happening because of change in investment, its equation also will be different. Here we are considering only expansionary feedback. Then in the equation, one more variable or one more values are added, that is 1 plus M2, MPM of country 2 divided by MPS of country 2, all divided by same as foreign trade multiplier of exports. So this is the equation of foreign trade multiplier of investment with repercussions. Both are with repercussions. Okay, so I think it is clear for you what is the foreign trade multiplier and what is the difference between foreign trade multiplier without repercussions and with repercussions. In the with repercussions also, there might be two chances: foreign trade multiplier of export and foreign trade multiplier of investment. So both can happen. So this is a very good analysis, but then also there are some limitations for this foreign trade multiplier analysis. Firstly, we are assuming autonomous export and investment. So we are not making this export as a function of any other we are not making export as a function of income, or generally we are considering it's autonomous. that there might be some changes, but it is not exogenously determined. Okay, and investment also, we are in the first case, that it is there is no any change in investment according to the change in income, but later on we have changed this assumption also. Investment also we made as a function of income, but normally foreign trade multiplier is based on the assumption of autonomous exports and investment. So this is the one limitation of foreign trade multiplier. Secondly, it is a static concept. I mean, there is it is not a dynamic concept. In the dynamic concept, we will explain how the changes is occurring. So we will explain the path of change also, but here we are not explaining the path, but we are explaining two comparative static points. Okay, so this is also another limitation of foreign trade multiplier analysis. Then a two country model only we have considered. Then there is also assumption of full employment, so it doesn't explain how foreign trade multiplier will work in the situation of underemployment equilibrium. Then this analysis completely neglected fiscal changes. There is no any changes in the government investment, or G is we have kept as constant. That is another limitation. Then neglect of trade restrictions. We didn't talk about how the trade restrictions will affect the foreign trade multiplier. So these all are the limitations of foreign trade multiplier generally. So for reference of this video will be Rana and Verma will be enough. And if you are interested in more of derivations, so Rana and Verma can help you with the examples, and H.G. Manur also can be will be a good reference for this analysis. So thank you for listening to this class. Thank you very much.